Okay, good evening. Please come to order. Please stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening. Okay, we're going to start with the approval of the minutes, which is a motion approving the September 24th, 2025 minutes of the regular meeting of the town board. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Sue. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? And it's carried. Thank you. We don't have any bid openings, but we do have a public hearing this evening. So this is for a proposed local law K of the year 2025 entitled "A Local Law to Override the Tax Levy Limit Established in the General Municipal Law 3-C." And the legal notice is proposed local law K of the year 2025. Public notice is hereby given that there has been presented to the town board of the town of Estill, New York, proposed local law K of the year 2025 entitled "A Local Law to Override the Tax Levy Limit Established in General Municipal Law 3-C." Therefore, pursuant to statute, the town board of the town of Estill will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid local law at 6 p.m. on October 8th, 2025, at the Vestal Town Hall, 605 Vestal Parkway West, Vestal, New York. At that time, all interested persons will be heard. And that's dated October 3rd and was issued by Deborah Wallace, our town clerk. So with that, we're going to open the public hearing. Does any member of the public wish to speak on the local law? Okay, so if nobody wishes to speak, we're going to close the hearing and we're going to go for a vote on the local law. So, I need a motion for the resolution approving local law K of the year 2025 entitled "A Local Law to Override the Tax Levy Limit Established in General Municipal Law 3C." Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Robert. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. Any discussion? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Still working on the budget. We have come a tremendous way from where we are, and our goal is to get under the cap. But if we're $1 over, we need this resolution. So we're still working for the rest of the month to try to get it as close as possible or under the cap. Your microphone, I guess, is not. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, my microphone's not. Okay, can you? Where's the Thank you. Is that better? Okay, thank you. We're still working on the budget is what I was saying, and then we're going to try to get it under the cap, but we're making tremendous headway and we're getting a lot closer than we were before. But if we're $1 over the cap, we have to have this resolution in place, which is why we pass it. But we're still going to work, and everything again will be a public conversation as we go through this month and try to get the next version of our budget, which will hopefully be closer than we are right now. With that, we come to my supervisor's updates. So we just want to make the public aware of a number of things. This evening on the website will be an article on the Murray Hill Safety Plan. This has been a work in progress for a while. The residents on Murray Hill are very concerned about the traffic safety there. It's been a chronic issue for a while, and then there's been a couple of bad accidents lately. So they emailed and called and contacted the board members, and we asked our town engineer to look into it. Now, just to let the public know, our police officers are over there periodically all the time, and they do targeted enforcement to try to make it safer for the residents, but they can't be there all the time. So now we're looking at structural changes, and Sue Messina received a lot of emails, and I received a number, and I went and talked to some of the residents, And from what they said, we went back to Tom, Tom Sullivan, our town engineer, and he came up with a plan. So please go to the website. You're going to read everything. And the residents that live over in Murray Hill, please contact us. I gave my email there. Please just let us know how you feel about it. Do you like that? Would you prefer something a little different? We want to hear your opinion before we implement anything. But we are working towards the safety but we want to do everything in a way that our residents are comfortable with. So we're going to be working on that. We do ask you to go to the article. And if you don't live in the area, please read it as well. Because I want you to see some of the things that we can do when conditions arise. And we also want to make the announcement that every person who owns property, rental property in Vestal, so private house or something like that, if they rent it out, they must register with the town. We just passed a new local law, but it was really just a revamping of what has been on the books for many years. So every person who owns property and rents it out must register with the police department. Now, all it is really just giving us a contact person with a name and a phone number with somebody to talk to. So it's primarily for our police department and our code officers, because as our residents know, when people live in the neighborhood all the time, they take care of their property and they want the properties around there taken care of as well. And in some areas, our code officers have seen rental properties that were not cared for properly. And so, in order to correct that situation, they need a person to talk to, hence the rule and hence the registration. So, if you own rental properties in Vestal, please contact our police department. It's really just a form with the contact information to fill out. And if there's any issue, they can reach out to you and talk to you about it. Also up and coming, probably next month, in concert with the dog control officer, Andrea Husband, and the highway department and the police department, it's truly a joint effort in starting a trial program to allow dogs in some parks. We're starting with Mittendorf Park. And then we are just gonna, as we go along the way, to remind every dog owner that uses the park or anywhere else in Vestal, you must leash and pick up after your dog. So we'll make announcements as we get closer to that. But please keep that in mind. Please follow the rules so that we can all have dogs and everybody can live together well. And the residents in that live around Bun Hill did ask me to remind everybody that lives in that area, there is going to be a new sewer line there. And with the new sewer line, they have the ability to hook up to it if they choose to. Now, if they are interested in it, if their septic system is failing, you can contact our water department and they'll tell you how to do that. So if you want to opt into sewer service in the future and you live on Bun Hill, please contact our water department and they'll guide you through the process. And the recreation department also has a few announcements. And if you want more information about these things, please go to vestalrecreation.com and that will give you much more information. But they have their new flyer out for the fall. And they have up and coming, they have the Monster Mash on Saturday, October 18th at Arnold Park. They have the Mother-Son Sneaker Ball. That will be on November 21st at the Riverdale. And a Father-Daughter Ball, which will be on February 21st. And they're starting to take registration for that as well. So, and our highway department has one last announcement, and that is the brush pickup has ended for the season, but leaf pickup will begin at the end of the month. So with that, we're going to move on to privilege of the floor, which is the opportunity for anybody to speak on a topic on the agenda. So this is agenda items only, and we do remind everybody of the rules. Each speaker must only speak regarding town business, be respectful of all elected officials, town employees, members of the audience, and all other persons. No personal attacks. We do ask you wait to be recognized, state your name and address before speaking, speak at the podium, Speak for no more than 3 minutes, be brief and to the point, and address comments to the board only. And only speak during the designated public comment section. And the speakers will speak in entirely, then will be addressed by the board. Does any member wish to speak, any person in the audience wish to speak on an agenda item? Yes. Oh, no, that's not on the agenda for this evening, but there's a second comment section for all other topics at the end. So just give me, we'll get through the agenda items and then there's another public comment section on any other things. Does anybody else want to speak on an agenda item? Okay, so we're going to go into the resolutions and then we'll get to the public comment section again. So, resolutions and motions, we don't have any this evening. Public Works,
No report.
thank you. And Finance, Sue?
Okay. 9.1, resolution for approval of an engineering department budget amendment to transfer $8,000 from the professional services line A1440-4000 to the general town building and grounds maintenance and repairs line A1620-4080 to offset cost of asbestos survey.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Robert, and seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. Any discussion? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Very good, it's carried. Thank you. And
9.2, resolution for approval of a police department budget amendment to transfer $4,462.41 from the miscellaneous police grants line A3120-4389 to the operating expenses and supplies line A3120-4060 to cover drone expenses from BAE donations.
thank you. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. Any discussion?
No.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's carried. Thank you.
9.3, resolution for approval of an engineering department budget amendment to transfer $300 from the books, periodicals, dues, and subscriptions line A1440-4490 to the education and travel line A1440-4030 to cover training class and travel expenses.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Robert. And
Seconded.
thank you. Thank you, Glenn. And any discussion? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried.
Okay. 9.4, resolution for approval of an engineering department budget amendment to transfer $60,000 from the wages, new employee and increases line A1440-1000 to the part-time labor line A1440-1030 to cover Joseph Bayer's payroll.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Robert, and seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. And so any discussion? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried.
9.5, resolution to advertise on October 29, 2025 for a public hearing on the 2026 preliminary budget. The public hearing will be held on November 5, 2025.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Robert, and seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. Any discussion?
No.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried.
9.6, resolution to advertise on October 29, 2025 for a special district budget hearing. The public hearing will be held on November 5, 2025.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Robert, and seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. Any discussion? Thank you. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's carried. Thank you.
9.7, resolution for the town board to retroactively approve $1,500 for a fire district audit.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Robert, and seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. And any discussion?
No.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried.
9.8, Resolution to approve a budget transfer of $6,000 from the general fund balance to the Parks Department Sports Field Maintenance line 101.7140.4090 for the construction of a cricket field.
Thank you. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. Any discussion?
No.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried.
9.9, resolution to approve the Recreation Department budget amendments as detailed in the attached addendum. The amendments are to cover the overage resulting from increased teacher T-shirt costs.
Thank you. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. Any discussion? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried.
9.10, resolution to pay the town attorney for billable hours at the contracted rate for the following cases. EFCA 202-400-1977, SST USA versus Vestal 3.5 hours at $200 per hour equals $700. EFSM AC 001758, McClure versus Vestal 3.5 hours at $200 per hour equals $700. SM 001757, Brill versus Vestal, 2.4 hours at $200 per hour equals $480. EFSM AC 001760, Hines versus Vestal, 3.9 hours at $200 per hour equals $780.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. Any discussion?
No.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried. Okay, personnel,
Okay,
do you have it in front of you? Do you want me to read it?
I did, can you read it? I had it in
Mhm.
front of me and I closed it. I have
Okay,
to-
sure. Okay, so, personnel, 10.1, resolution to accept the retirement of Police Chief Stace Kittner effective January 30th, 2026. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And any discussion?
No.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried. And then there's 10.2, which is resolution to promote Lieutenant Vincent Stavola to Vestal Police Chief effective January 31st, 2026. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. Any discussion? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. It's carried. Thank you. So we're going to move on to planning and zoning. So Robert,
11.1, resolution for the approval of a request from Tom Sullivan, town engineer, for an additional $6,300 for the building grounds maintenance and repairs budget line 010.1620.4080. This request is for an emergency repair of a structural failure in the duct system at the town of Vestal Library.
thank you. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. So any discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried. Next one.
11.2, resolution to approve the acquisition of 2,185 square feet of real property for the Wego Road over Tracy Creek Bridge replacement project. The property location tax ID number is 172.70-1-17. The purchase price is $6,100, 95% of which is reimbursable to the town through the Bridge New York grant program.
Thank you. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Second.
Thank you, Sue. So any discussion? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Thank you. It's carried. Next one.
11.3, resolution for Wilea Kretzmer, tree sale coordinator for Boy Scout troop number 225, to change the previously approved dates for the annual tree sale to begin 1 week earlier. This is due to the short window between Thanksgiving and Christmas in 2025. The new dates will be from November 3rd, 13th to December 31st, 2025, using a town-owned parking lot at 320 Vestal Parkway East.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn. And seconded?
Second.
Thank you, Sue. Any discussion? Okay. Mhm. That's in the parking lot there.
So I did speak.
Yeah.
We still have farmer's market going on
Mm.
till Thanksgiving. I spoke to Lisa Bloodway. She said she'd be more than willing to work around them.
Okay.
Set that up. Thought about it last week. I was like, shoot, I think we go to Thanksgiving, but she said, I contacted her, they'll work around that.
Okay, so they worked out?
So we're okay with.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried. Thank you, Deborah. Okay, Sue, public safety?
Resolution for the town board to accept $10,376.05 in grant reimbursement from Broome County. This grant funded the purchase of updated bike patrol equipment and uniforms by the police department. The reimbursement fund should be allocated to the VPD operations line A3120-4060.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Robert, and seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. Any discussion? Thank you. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, it's carried. And receive and file?
Okay, warrants 2025, 39G, 39C, 39M, 39T, 40G, 40T, 40M. These are routine weekly bills that have been paid. G stands for general operating expenditures. C, weekly capital expenditures. M, medical insurance claims. T, flexible spending account expenditures. We also have town clerk monthly report for September, Town of Union 239, NYCJ Ball Cannabis, Supervisors Reports, June, July, and August 2025.
Okay, thank you. So we don't have any petitions and protests. We don't have any old business. Does any board member have any other new business? Okay, with that, we covered the supervisor's announcements before. And we're gonna move on to the committee chair comments and updates. Any other comments by the board members?
Okay, EMS, police, and fire continue to apply for grants and ongoing trainings to keep our community safe. All are finalizing their 2026 budget.
Okay, thank you. Everybody good then? Okay, so we're gonna move on to the public comment section. So this is the last part, where the members of the public can comment on any town topic. So, did you want to speak? It is the same rules as before, though. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I live on Reeder Road in Vestal, New York, and I just wanted to comment on the Middendorf dog rules. The Parks Department has done a fantastic job with some updates with Middendorf. The neighborhood really appreciates it. They've included a new water fountain, parking area. They've repaired the fence and taken down some dead trees that were dangerous. So I just want to thank the town and the Parks Department and Highway Department for doing a great job. I also appreciated speaking with some of the members of the Parks Department that they would like to preserve the area next to the parking lot as a wildlife sanctuary for pollinators, and members of the CAC who are also advocating for that as well. I'm a dog owner myself, and I grew up near Middendorf Park, lived in New York City for a few years, so I really empathize with the need for a space to let dogs get their exercise for residents who might not have access. But I do have a few concerns regarding some dogs in Middendorf and wondering how Middendorf was selected versus maybe some other parks. One concern mainly is that we have many children on Reeder Road, which borders the park, and myself and several other residents were hoping that perhaps Middendorf Park could be become more child friendly with maybe some updated playground equipment. Currently, there's some playground equipment that is broken or outdated. And I worry that although the vast majority of dog owners are very responsible, we have had a few encounters with very aggressive dogs that are off leash from folks that are not residents of Vestal, but utilizing the park for dog walking off leash. I was injured last year by an aggressive dog off leash, and just 3 weeks ago, I witnessed a child from the neighborhood chased by an aggressive dog off leash in Middendorf. The owner was able to eventually get control, but I just worry about the liability, especially since we have babies, infants, and toddlers on Rita Road that borders the park. The other concern I have is that there's some very rare wildflowers in the Middendorf Forest. It's an old growth forest. It's the only park in Vestal that has a natural bluebell field in the forest with some other rare spring ephemerals. So I've noticed kind of an increase in dog waste. There, again, vast majority of dog owners are very responsible, but I find myself when I take my daily walks back there, there's lots of dog waste with plastic bags. And so I tend to pick them up, but I'm just worried about the increased waste and impact on the environment. So I'm just wondering if possible, if there might be other parks that are perhaps a bit more rural or near neighborhoods that don't have as many children that the town might consider. Or if Middendorf is considered, how can we ensure the safety of children with an increase in dogs? What facilities could be provided to keep the park clean by providing waste receptacles and bags? And how can signage be utilized to protect the rare flora in the Middendorf forest? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And your points are absolutely noted, and taken under advisement, because we're going to do a trial period in here, and it's going to be a coordinated effort between our highway department, who's making the signs for us, and our dog control officer, who is going to be fully involved in the whole process, and our police department. So our police chief is having the regular sector go over there periodically to walk through the area or go through the area to maintain more of a presence during that period of time. In Vestal, everywhere. First of all, dogs are not allowed in that park now. So everybody who has a dog in that park is in violation. I could tell you that occurs in most parks in Vestal. So the goal is to get everybody to abide by the rules. If everybody abides by the rules with controlling your dog on a leash and picking up after your dog, you're going to eliminate most of those issues. We do have tools in our toolbox. So there are summonses and fines that can be issued. With the first trial program in there, it's going to be for a period of time to see if it's successful or not. It's going to be temporary for a trial period. If it becomes successful, if we can convince people to follow the rules and it goes smoothly, then it will become permanent. Other parks may be considered at some point. We're taking one park at a time. I could tell you right now that in almost every area of New York State, dogs are allowed in almost every park. So we are the exception to the rule. And statistically, 66% of dogs, of households in Vestal own dogs. But if you own a dog, and I do too, that you have to be responsible. So you have to leash and you have to pick up. So wherever that owner and that dog is, they must control their dog, and we will enforce it. We have a dog control officer. We have officers who will intervene. If it's an aggressive dog situation, certainly you can call for help at any time. Right now, everybody who's had that dog in that park, and we know it's a commonplace occurrence, has been in violation of the rules. What we're trying to do is just having to see if we can make it so that people follow the rules and then make it allowable. But that is a given. There will be a few people who do not follow the rules, and then they will be subject to fines and penalties and escalating fines. It becomes this choice where, do you stop everybody from doing something because a few people don't do it the right way? And we'll see how it goes. It will be a trial period. It is only the one park that is being considered, but right now it was suggested that park because there were a number of dog incidents there. What this will bring in is more help, assistance, and more presence there to ensure that people follow the rules. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then we stop it and it doesn't happen again. But then you have dogs in that park that are not allowed at all. And then we have to follow up on that too. So it's definitely a consideration. We're definitely going in this with this very slow as a joint effort of multiple departments. There will be trash cans in appropriate places. There will be more police presence. The DCO will be following up. It'll be warnings at first and then summonses afterwards. And it will be for a limited period of time until we reassess and see if it's successful or not. And if it's not successful, then we'll stop it. And then we have to go in and follow up and then follow up the people who aren't following the rules. So
Not turning it into a dog park,
No.
but just
No.
allowing the dogs. Okay.
yeah, so it's not a dog park. There's no proposal for a dog park, but simply to make dogs allowable in the park, again, following the rules. And you can stay and talk to me afterwards if you want. Okay? Does any other member of the public wish to speak or ask a question? Yes.
My name is Ann Ketchmar and I live on Marion Street. And I just have a couple questions about some things that I have seen in the past meeting minutes and are actually hearing about some happenings in the town. The first thing is the appointment of the appraiser as a new part-time assessor. And just wondering, I was under the impression that that should have been like discussed in a public meeting, and I understand that there was a last meeting minute called and there was no public comments. And I guess my question is, what happened to the, transparency that the town of Vestal, I mean, we're the ones that are affected, and I guess we had no input. Was the state, it's my understanding that whoever is appointed is supposed to be approved by the state, and were they? And as far as part-time, from things that I have been reading, is if your municipality has like 3,500 parcels or less, then you can constitute a part-time assessor. Vestal has something like 9,400 properties, so I don't understand how an appraiser could be a part-time assessor for 9,400 properties. That's my first question. And my second question is, I've also heard that, there seems to be a big thing about the budget that, Vestal has constantly, you have said before that, Vestal was going broke and, we've got a lot of people that can't afford things. I just wonder the supposed purchase of $175,000 carousel, when we supposedly don't have a lot of money and it's like, it's not even workable. I understand pieces are missing. It's going to cost money to build a new building, not sure where it's going to be put, and just wondered why that was never mentioned in a town board meeting.
Okay, thank you. Let me see if I can address all the things because there was a lot of things that aren't correct there. You can sit down and then you can certainly follow up with me at the end of the meeting if you want. The first thing, the appointment of the assessor. Yes, we have a new assessor. Our last assessor, his appointment was up. Wasn't anything private about it. We took discussions and statements from people for months, at least a couple of months. So if you read the minutes to all the public meetings, you have a lot of people coming to the meetings. We also took a lot of input via email and phone calls and discussions with people outside of it. Certainly wasn't a secret. We took in, no. So I said, you can stop it. You can certainly talk to me at the end. So there was a whole public discussion for months on end. We listened to everybody who came to the meetings. We also listened to people who did not come to the meetings, but who spoke to us, who emailed us, who called us, and who spoke to us in our everyday lives. All of which we took it, everybody into consideration, and we considered it very much. So it certainly was not a thing. In fact, last week I announced it on public radio that we had found a new assessor and what her qualifications were. She is highly qualified. So she is not an appraiser. She is an assessor now. So she has almost 20 years of experience in the field, both in residential and commercial properties. She is starting out as a part-time position, but she will probably become full-time, but we're going to judge that as we go, in concert with her and what she's comfortable with. She is certified by New York State. She was approved by New York State, and all her paperwork was done. So she follows all the guidelines of it. And quite honestly, she comes with a great reputation and with high recommendations. So it was a very public discussion. And the end result is that the appointment was up and we chose somebody new and somebody who is highly qualified. Getting on to the budget. So those statements that you said was a mischaracterization of things that I've said. So the budget itself is not in crisis, and the budget is not, we're not broke. And I forget what the other thing was, but you were asking specifically about the carousel. So the carousel is one of many projects that Parks Department is now working on. They work continuously on different ideas and projects. We have a Parks Department that's highly qualified and they're absolutely amazing. They built most of the stuff in the parks. So they're getting ideas all the time. They're physically building things themselves to be cost effective, and they're making our parks actually wonderful. Somebody donated the pieces of an old carousel to us, and we had to assess whether it was going to be a viable project and whether we could even do it. In looking at it, the supervisor for the Parks Department looked at it, and they've done restoration work, and they said it's in pretty good shape. After a lot of inquiry, they found out that some parts were missing, but it was donated to us. So when somebody donates something to us, we look into the viability. It has cost the taxpayer nothing. And if we proceed with this project, and if you go online, the whole explanation is there. It will be done through grant money. So we're putting in for a grant. We believe that we'll be able to get money for it. And then it will be on donations only. It's not going to be done on taxpayer money. Our Parks Department is absolutely amazing. They are so cost effective. They go above and beyond to make every park in Vestal the best it could possibly be, as cost efficiently as possible. It just bothers me that people spread misinformation. This project may or may not be viable because one of the structural pieces has to be tested to see if it's okay. If it's not okay, then it probably isn't a project that we can afford to do, and to get enough donations for. But if it does turn out to be true, then we're going to appeal to the public. But you don't announce a project until you know if you can try to do it or not. And we're not at that stage yet. We have pieces to an old carousel, which a family graciously donated to us. They would like to see this project come to fruition. We have people who are offering grants and donations already, if it's possible. We don't know if it's possible. It would be wonderful to have, and it would be literally at no cost or very little cost to the taxpayer at all. And to say no to a project like that would just not be a service to this town. So this family wants us to be able to do it because we have the people who have the ability to do it. And if we can get enough donations to build it, why on earth wouldn't we? It would be a wonderful addition to the town if we can do it. But it's so early. You never announce a project until you know if you can do it. And we're hoping, because it would be a wonderful idea. We have our Parks Department workers who would love to do it. We have our Highway Department looking into possibility. We have our town engineers seeing if it's viable. Everybody's seeing if it's possible. If it's possible, then we're going to bring it to the public, because then we're going to say, hey, this is now a possibility. Can we make this work? But it would be based on grants and donations, not taxpayer dollars. I don't get where the criticism is. Our Parks Department feels out every idea. This family would love to see it come to reality. And all that I've heard since then, since somebody else was saying something about it, was people saying, well, that would be really great if we can make it happen and it doesn't cost taxpayer dollars. So I think that the very fact that our people are willing to put their time and effort and their soul into trying to make our parks the best that they can be, I think that's a credit to our personnel. So, I don't know if I answered all your questions, but I tried to. As far as that goes, we will continue to work on the budget, and we're getting closer to the cap, but we will always be as cost effective as possible. And this year, for the first year, our budget is going to be completely transparent. So every line in the budget that's not clear by itself will have a notation with an explanation of what it is. So every department head has been working on it. I will personally be going over it with the comptroller so that when you read our budget this year, you're going to know where we're spending everything. So that is the first time ever. So we will continue to do that. We do keep in mind, as you referred to, everybody who can't afford very much, because we have a lot of people in Vestal that have a hard time with money. But we have a lot of people who are blessed to have more and who are willing to help out to make these things possible. So it bothers me that people criticize when our people work so hard to really save money for our residents, but to make wonderful things happen in Vestal. But with that, does any other member of the public wish to ask a question? Any board member? Everybody good?
I would just mention that information on the carousel and information on much of what we do is on the website. So if anyone does hear something from another person or a grapevine, almost always the correct information is on the website. And I would encourage people to continue to use the website, use it more often, because we do make an effort to put as much information as we can on there.
No, thank you. And there's tons of articles on the website, and we put as much information out there as possible, and communicate as much as absolutely possible. But let me remind everybody, we answer emails. So if anybody has a question or wants to put something forward, please email the board members. Clearly, looking at the agenda today, a lot of these things came off resident requests. The safety on Murray Hill, the landlord registration, the concerns about the properties in their neighborhood, dogs in parks are the requests of the people in the area, but also with following the leash and pickup laws. And the recreation department doing all their incredible work all the time with the full support of the community. We will continue to do that for as much as possible. When you have ideas or suggestions that are constructive, we're absolutely willing to hear it and consider it and sometimes adopt it, depending if it's possible. So with that, any other member of the audience wish to speak? Okay, can I have a
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Sue. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And all in favor?
Aye.
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 And any opposed? Thank you. Have a good evening. If you want to speak to me after the meeting,